follow along. This one pitches off, and she'll need to send it away. He makes the touch. Oh, and what? No, no way. What? Are you kidding me? Look at this pitch from Kuxer. I don't believe what I'm seeing right now.
You've probably all seen this clip by now, the famous Kuxer pinch. But what if I told you Kuxer didn't make it? In fact, he wasn't even close. This is the story of the Kuxer pinch. Kuxer's now famous pinch occurred in the RLCS in 2017, which at the time shocked the Rocket League community. But our story actually begins in 2010, before Rocket League was even created. Back then, a lot of the early players of Rocket League, including Kuxer himself, would play Rocket League's predecessor known as SARP BC. This game closely resembles Rocket League, and the gameplay is extremely similar to Rocket League as well, and it's during this time that this clip surfaced. While this isn't a Kuxer pinch, this is the earliest documented example of a pinch, and it didn't necessarily fly off like Kuxer's pinch, but it's incredible to think that 7 years before the original Kuxer pinch, people were already playing around with this. But of course, this isn't in Rocket League. In fact, it would be another 5 years until Rocket League was actually released, and incredibly, it was on this exact day that this clip surfaced. This is the first documented example of a Kuxer pinch in Rocket League, and remarkably it actually only surfaced on Reddit 2 years ago, and initially the clip was in some of the worst quality I've ever seen. But as you can see, just like the original Kuxer pinch, the ball gets wedged between the player's car and the wall. The only slight difference is that it's in the inside of the goal, whereas Kuxer did it on the sidewall. As well as this, Kuxer's was fully intentional, whereas this original clip largely happened by accident, since the player was most likely just going for a save. So while it might be the first ever example of a Kuxer pinch, it's not exactly the same, largely because of the lack of intention behind the pinch, which is common with a lot of clips that come out of this time. For instance, there's this team pinch, which was a world record at the time, and much like the other clip, it's highly unlikely they actually intended to pinch it. So while the Kuxer pinch did exist, people hadn't yet figured out how to intentionally pull it off, but it wouldn't take long for that to happen. We now find ourselves in 2016. The game has been out for almost a year now, and people are slowly learning and developing new mechanics. Things like bounce dribbles, half flips, and even air dribbles are now common within the game. Even pinches are becoming more and more common, particularly team pinches, but the Kuxer pinch was seemingly still out of reach. But not for everyone. The first example is by then pro Marky Duda, who attempted this in a game against Kuxer in March 2016. However, it would take another couple months before something incredible showed up on YouTube. A user by the name of Vel would upload this montage in May 2016, which included some incredible pinches, but most importantly, not just one, but multiple Kuxer pinches. And unlike the clip in 2015, these pinches are on the sidewall and are also much more intentional. But the most important thing about these clips is that they mark the first time the Kuxer pinch can be done consistently in Rocket League. But not only that, there are also reports around this time of other people being able to pull off a Kuxer pinch. The most popular one is of pro player Kronovi, who reportedly hit one on Rizzo's stream in March 2016. And interestingly as well, in 2015, there was also a report of him and a player known as Low5, who had supposedly pulled off a pinch shot. Whether this was a Kuxer pinch or not, we'll never know. But regardless of this, it seems like Kronovi also knew how to do a Kuxer pinch. Unfortunately, these sources can't be verified properly, so we have to disregard them. And seemingly from this point onwards, all the way until Kuxer performed his pinch in the RLCS, there are seemingly no reports of the Kuxer pinch being used in pro play, or so we thought. As I mentioned earlier, there were reports of people being able to do Kuxa pinches during the 2016 period. However, what I haven't told you is that there was one source in particular which reveals some important information. This source would be a timeline found on Reddit which would outline when certain terms would be used in the Rocket League subreddit, and one remarkable detail would stick out, which is that the term Kuxa pinch would first appear in late 2016, almost a full year before Kuxa even did it. And we have to remember at this point, Kuxa hadn't popularized this mechanic yet, so the Kuxa pinch at this point wasn't called a Kuxa pinch. In fact, it was generally called a wall pinch. So how is it being referred to as a Kuxa pinch already in 2016? Well, there's only one way this could happen. Kuxa was already working on the pinch. In fact, he definitely was. These clips surfaced around October of that year and featured in a montage created by RLFX, a now very popular content creator, and it was only a matter of time before Kuxa would pull this off in the pro scene.
I know. The more you know. Because I feel like that's fair. The pinch goal by Cooks, he's actually done it! This was intentional. I've seen him do this. Look at this, he side flips into it as well. What a genius! That is beautiful. No, that is beautiful. That's incredible. In high level 1v1, that's next level.
As you can see, this was hit in a pro 1v1 show match, and this is the first example of it being hit in the pro scene. But as you've probably already guessed, this wouldn't be the last time Kuxa would pull this off. October 12th, 2017. Flipside Tactics, the team Kuxa was a part of, was coming up against Team Secret, with both teams vying to qualify for the World Championship that year. But people don't remember the match because of this. They remember the match because of one moment, the moment the Kuxa pinch was born.
Marky Dude on a follow along. This one pinches off and Kuxa will need to send it away. He makes the touch. Oh, what? No way. What? Are you kidding me? Look at this pinch from Kuxa. I don't believe what I'm seeing right now. 124 kilometers per hour.
This was the first time the Kuxa pinch had been hit in the RLCS, and Kuxa would do this multiple times from this point onwards, most notably in Season 6.
In this tournament, immediately met by Squishy, pinched off the ceiling. Oh, and a great pinch. He did it! He did it! The Kuxa pinch! The man is a legend!
It's a beautiful play, and you saw it in the bit before the match. It's the Kuxa pinch. 74 miles an hour. He pulls it off on the biggest stage.
And this is ultimately why we call it a Kuxa pinch. He was able to pull it off not once, but multiple times on the world's biggest stage. And while he might not have created the mechanic, he showed you could perform it consistently at Rocket League's highest level. But most importantly, he made the Kuxa pinch what it is today, one of the most dangerous and used mechanics in Rocket League. And that is something that no one else has done. This is the story of the Kuxa pinch.